Autodesk Inventor 2020 is currently out, and to celebrate its release, let's kick off with a part modeling exercise. This time, we will revisit the snail which we created in Fusion 360 way back ago. This part exercise is in inches, so let's head up to New, heading to English, and let's select Standard Part. Selecting Create. Upon inspecting the 2D drawing, let's position the cylinder at the origin. Let's now enter sketch mode. I'm going to hit S on my keyboard. And now we are prompted to select a plane to create our sketch. I'm going to select our XY plane. Left click. Let's create two circles. I'm going to hit Ctrl, Shift, and C. The shortcut for creating a circle. Let's drop our center point at the origin. Left click here. Let's make the diameter of our inner circle to be 0.875. Hitting enter. Repeating the procedure, I'm going to drop our center point at the origin once more. And this time, I'm going to key in 1-5/8. Hitting enter. And now let's turn this sketch into 3D by hitting E, the shortcut for extrude, selecting this profile and this inner profile. Let's change the behavior to symmetric. And for the distance, I'm going to key in 1/3/4. Hitting enter. Let's create the base of our snail. And this time, I'm going to hit L for line. And let's sketch on our XY plane. Let's head to our browser 3. I'm going to expand our origin folder and select XY plane. We are currently in line mode. Let me change our command to rectangle. And I'm going to drop our first point at the origin. So notice the green dot. Left click here. Move over here. Left click. Let's define this rectangle. I'm going to hit D to grab our dimension. Selecting this line and this horizontal line. Let's place our dimension here. Left click. And let's key in 1/1/2, which is 1.5. Hitting enter. Dimension tool still active. Let's select this vertical line and this vertical line. Place our dimension here. Key in 2. Hitting enter. Let's exit sketch mode by selecting Finish Sketch. And select Extrude. Notice the profile was automatically selected. Let's change the direction to symmetric. And this time, let's perform a mathematical operation. I'm going to type 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 5/8. Hitting enter. And enter once more. Moving forward, let's create the cut here. And instead of creating the sketch on this face, let's select this face and select Create Sketch. Let's grab our rectangle. And this time, selecting 2-point center. Let's place our center here. So notice the snap track. Left click. And left click on this intersection. Let's add some constraints. Hitting Escape. Let's head up and select vertical constraint. Let's select our center point. To make sure, let's head over to our browser 3. Select center point and the center point of our rectangle. Next, I'm going to hit D for dimension, and let's define the width of this rectangle. Placing our dimension here, keying in 5/8, hitting enter. Let's move entities. To check if our rectangle is fully constrained, I'm going to hit Escape. Let's select this horizontal line. Left click and hold to move the horizontal line. So notice the vertical height of this rectangle is not yet defined. So let's now hit D for dimension, selecting this horizontal line and this horizontal edge. Place our dimension here. And I'm going to key in 1/4, which is 0.25, and hit enter. Let's now create a cut extrusion. Hitting E. Let's pull this arrow to the right. Once more. Grabbing this arrow, pulling this to the right. In addition, notice the reddish color. It indicates a cut extrusion. And this time, the distance, let's select through all. And finally, hit OK. Heading to Home View. Let's create the head of our snail. Let's select this face and select Create Sketch. Let's grab our rectangle. This time, it's 2-point rectangle. Let's drop our first point at this corner. Left click here. And left click here. Hitting Escape. Let's add constraints. Let's head up and select collinear. Selecting this horizontal line and this horizontal edge. Next, let's grab our circle by hitting Ctrl-Shift-C. Let's drop our center point at the midpoint of this line and left click at this corner. Let's now hit D to grab our dimension. I'm going to select our center point and this vertical line. Drop our dimension here. Key in 3. It turned into black, meaning it's fully constrained. In addition, let's create the 2 circles here as well. So hitting Ctrl-Shift-C once more. Let's drop our center point here. Drop our center point here. The diameter to be 7/16. Hitting enter. Hitting Escape. Let's have this circle and this circle same in diameter. So let's head to our constraints, selecting equal. Selecting this to be the parent and this to be the child. Hitting Escape. Let's align the center point of this circle horizontally with this center point. So let's grab our horizontal constraint, selecting this center point and this center point. Next, let's grab our dimension, hitting D, selecting this center point and the center point. Drop our dimension here. Key in 1 space 5/8. Hitting enter. In addition, we have a raised feature here. So let's create another circle for that. Hitting Ctrl-Shift-C. Dropping our center point here. The diameter to be 1. Hitting enter. And let's now extrude these profiles. So I'm going to hit E for extrude. Create a window selection covering all of the sketch. Release. Let's pull this arrow down. And for its distance, I'm going to key in 5/8. Hitting enter and enter once more. Going to Home View. The purpose of our previous sketch was to demonstrate that we can reuse a sketch. So let's head to our browser tree and expand Extrusion 5, selecting Sketch 4, right click, and select Visibility. I'm going to hit E for Extrude and select this Profiles. The height to be 1/8. Hitting enter and enter once more. And finally, let's create the holes. Hitting E for extrude, selecting this circular profile and this circular Profiles. Let's pull our arrow down. And for the distance, select Through All, Operation Cut, and hit OK. Heading to Home View. Let's turn off the visibility of the sketch. Selecting Sketch 4, right-click, and Disable Visibility. Let's recall, when we created Extrusion 1, we created the inner circle as well. So let's select Sketch 1, right-click, selecting Visibility, hit E for Extrude, hover over here, left-click, change the direction to Symmetric. Under Distance, let's select Through All, Operation, or Boolean to be cut, and hit OK. Let's turn off the visibility of the sketch. Right-click once more and uncheck Visibility. Finally, let's add fillets to our sharp edges. Hitting F for fillet. For the radius, I'm going to key in 1/8. Let's move to our model, selecting this edge, 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 and this edge. Selecting OK. Heading to Home View. That's our Snail challenge with the latest release of Inventor 2020. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.